Do you know what my conspiracy is? Am I allowed to make another conspiracy? Am I allowed to do 2 major conspiracies in one stream? My conspiracy is that when the people make lore content, they get stuff wrong sometimes on purpose just to drive up the engagement. Because this is an actual technique that's used in sales and fact-finding. And it's called elicitation. Oh, and this is his reply to the Pontius. Stop. No, we're gonna watch this and then I can go to bed. This is exhausting. No, this might be funny. No, this might actually be funny. This might be educational. What the heck? Why is Bricky in my... Ugh. By the way, I feel like having Bricky as like a co-host does not really boost your algorithm that much. Like, I've seen a few of his collabs, and then like having Bricky there does not really like do anything. Like as a... It's not really like much of a multiplier for that video. Anyways, let's keep going. Eric is insane. Don't forget to check the comments on the MK... I'm gonna call him MK Ultra.
As much as I do try to steer clear of drama and anything non-law related these days, as it usually bites me in the ass, I've always believed it's important to defend yourself.
Yeah, let's go from the start. I wasn't really paying attention. Sorry about that.
As much as I do try to steer clear of drama and anything non-law.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Dude, I remembered when you only had 30,000 views and you were on the warpath. You were doing like shit like, hey guys, we're about like 20,000 subscribers to One Mind Syndicate, and I want to like fuck this guy in the ass. So subscribe to me, and we're gonna laugh about it afterwards when we pass through, you know, when we get more subscribers than One Mind Syndicate. I remember all that shit. You were an absolute asshole. You've gotten better, but I remember that shit. I have the receipts.
Related these days, as it usually bites me in the ass, I've always believed it's important to defend yourself and your reputation. Yeah,
well, he talks shit about One Mind. Yeah. And no, he basically did that to every single like Warhammer lore tuber. He basically like, oh, this guy is next on my list. Like I'm gonna pass as 40k YouTuber, and then I'm gonna pass the next one, and then every single I pass, I basically just fart in their face. This was like old. This was old Majorkill.
Especially when people are lying about things or deliberately or accidentally misinforming large amounts of people about you.
You thought it was hilarious. I thought it was pretty funny as well, because a lot of those other YouTubers, a lot of those other lore tubers just read from the wiki. Like they had a really boring setup where it's like the what's it called, the PowerPoint presentations of the slowly moving images, and then just like, okay guys, today we're going to talk about the Ultramarines and the devastating Tyrannic war. This happened in the 38th.
On YouTube means less views,
yeah,
less
you know what I mean, right?
And eventually an unviable channel, which obviously not.
Herc is going Old Testament on him. No, I remember a lot of shit.
Idealio. I hope I've shown.
Let's watch one video of OMS. I might actually set that up as like a subscriber though. A subscriber goal. I'm not going to subject myself to.
Myself as someone who can take accountability for my mistakes. I've always believed you should be judged by. I hope I've shown myself as someone who can.
We actually want to listen to this. I got cancelled again. What's this? The one thing I do appreciate about Majorkill though is that he's not afraid to dive into controversy, like that thing with the AI videos and all of that. Like a lot of content creators do stay clear about like wider community issues. I wonder if he's going to talk about, has he talked about the 3D printing with Gamek? Not yet, but I wish he did. But I think that's like a more new, what the heck is this? Warhammer nerd attempts to date 12 women at the same time. Real life. I don't even.
For my mistakes. I've always believed you should be judged by how you deal with your mistakes, not by the mistakes themselves. If you mess up, take accountability,
yeah, redemption story.
Right, and learn. I think that's what you should be judged for. Obviously, there are exceptions. Like if you're a fucking pedo, you should be judged for being a pedo, even if you say sorry. About a week ago, I noticed I lost like.
If you're a pedo, you should be judged by inside of a wood chipper.
100 subs, and I was like, huh, that's odd.
You know, you should be judged by God via wood chipper.
And then just went about my day. But then I came across a video that seemed to be blowing up, created by a small channel I hadn't heard of called the Pontius, which says Warhammer 40k YouTubers are
MK is justified. I know Korn is going to get really pissed off with me because I'm giving like MK Ultra here, like fair shake.
With my logo being
we just need to send you to the judge. Yeah, the judge
so
is, the ultimate judge is God. And so we're just going to send him there in the most painful and slow way possible.
But look, and yep. Here we go again. Look, all I'll say is I didn't start at this time. So I thought it'd be fun and educational for both the Pontius, myself, and you guys to go through what he has to say, pointing out where he's just full of shit, where I could potentially do better.
Oh man, he's actually really spicy.
Attitude, and how he is just straight up missing.
By the way, Australians are really known for their shitposting, so if you've ever been on 4chan, the most prolific shitposters are the ones with the Australian flags on them.
The bigger picture. Should be fun, get your popcorn out, and let's get into it.
I was really afraid that he would say, let's get waffling. Like, Chapter Master Valrak has actually scarred my mind. Like, if I ever hear the word like, let's get waffling, or whenever someone starts to speak, I am actually afraid that they'll say something like, let's get waffling.
Now the video is long as shit, about 2 hours, and he basically has a stab at almost everyone.
It gets 5 minutes before it gets done that great. Oh, that's good.
Now I'm gonna let those guys fight their own battles, as I would rather bear trap my own balls than listen to his entire video, especially since as the dude has a thick Italian accent, it's nearly impossible to understand at 2 times speed. So we'll just focus on my parts, and I'll only really
fuck. I could have watched him at 2 times speed.
Focusing on the interesting points or misinformations. Heads up, this guy is one very angry Italian.
Now we move to
I think he's just a normal Italian.
My opinion on Majorkill when it comes
Italian.
to the lore has not changed. He's not even a clown. He's the entire fucking circus. Keep in mind, I despise Majorkill personally, not only as a lore YouTuber.
So old mate starts off by declaring he has a personal issue with me that goes just beyond my content.
If it's really personal, you guys should do a boxing match.
That is obviously a big red flag, as it means he will be personally biased against me, cherry-picking information that reinforces his view, disregarding or downgrading information that conflicts with it, and you're about to see a lot of examples of this.
The guy has backstabbed Arch Warhammer. Much of the success of Majorkill is owed to Arch Warhammer. Backstabbing the guy that made...
I remember this happening. And honestly, if you want me to be really honest, I even watched the podcast or the collab where Majorkill went on Archer's channel. It was the most boring fucking collab in the world. It was so bad. It was the most boring shit I've ever watched. Because they went on and none of them, I don't know, they felt shy or something, like they did not know how to talk with each other. It's like 2 like strangers, like 2 dudes trying to get the measure of each other. So it was like Majorkill without any of his edginess, and then Arch is like... Arch was just really awkward. So it was like, I was expecting like Arch to just go like nuts, like just talk about like crazy politics stuff, not even crazy, right? Like just center line politics stuff, and then Majorkill just be coming in like, yeah, fuck yeah, you know, fuck these SJWs or something like that. Like, what a bunch of pussies. But they played it really safe, and then it was like one of the most boring things I've ever watched.
Made you famous.
Or listened to, actually.
So it makes you a very shitty person to begin with.
His first point is that he says that Arch made me famous, and
You need to see the Cornet Gaines vid afterwards, you'll like it, at least his second one. Oh yeah, sure.
Backstabbed him for clicks or views or whatever. I have actually addressed this before a few times, but I guess it's time to talk about it again because Pontius can't be bothered fact-checking.
Oh yeah, so about that, like afterwards, I mean, I'm just gonna let
as I said, personal bias and whatnot. When people bring up this point, it's referring to a podcast me and Arch filmed in 2018, so like 7 years ago. The podcast was shit, there was no chemistry, and the video got like
was it only 7 years ago
or whatever.
Has it been? It felt like it was 10 years ago. Huh. No, I definitely watched this one though. It was so fucking boring.
You can't even find it on YouTube anymore. Me and Arch then never again spoke.
Wait. Easy ass, heads up. Who writes easy ass? Heads up, I'm still pre-lit, like I haven't... Who fucking types like that? Heads up, I'm still pre-lit, like I haven't slept yet, cause Sesh was too good. Should make it more interesting, TBH. No, it wasn't. It was really boring, like...
Sub 10,000 views or whatever. You can't even find it on YouTube anymore. Me and Arch then never again spoke after that. If that video was the one that made me famous, then why was it only in 2020, 2 years later, that my channel actually blew up? I got absolutely 0 subscribers or view spike from that podcast, and my channel only exploded after a few more years of solo grinding, and then when I quit my full-time job to do YouTube full-time. This is a lie people love to spin all the time to attack me that could be fact-checked within like 2 minutes, but as I said, it doesn't...
I think the issue here is like, okay, he's addressing the fact that did not rely on Arch for his channel to take off, but did he backstab Arch? I wonder if he's going to talk about that.
Suit his bias. Then the video I made about Arch happened over 3 years after this podcast and 3 years after I last spoke to him. So people framing it like Arch was my mentor who...
So that happened in 2018, and then 3 years after that is 2021. And that was 4 years ago. Was that around the time when Arch got cancelled? I think Arch got cancelled about a year after the podcast. That was like the whole like SJW, like that was the whole like CA, not CA. That was CA as well, but there was also GW like crashing out on Arch with the lawsuits and everything, taking away Warhammer from his name. It would be really bad if you just immediately dogpiled on him, but I think there was some grace period.
Who gave me success only for me to backstab him are just so off the mark. Now, is my video about Arch flawless? No, not really. There's probably things I could have tightened up and other points I could have...
So I think the question really is, did he benefit from shit-talking Arch after the collab?
Made or removed, but I still agree with the sentiment, so I've left it up. You can watch it and be your own judge if you'd like. I'll link it below. So yeah, his first point about Arch is just a straight up lie. Now to the next one.
The constant shilling of porn on his Patreon and even the recent shilling of peptides to his audience of children doesn't make me like him either. It is a very shitty thing to do when you make peptides to his audience of children. Doesn't make me like him either.
He's got to be like partially Asian or something, like only his hair changed and his face still looks kind of like the same. He needs more sleep though, but then I'm not one to talk.
Either. It is a very shitty thing to do when you make videos that are open to be watched by children. We make jokes about it at best, but we will never dare to sponsor 18+ content on videos watched by children, Majorkill.
A big thing people love to raise with me is that Majorkill shills porn to kids or he's a bad person because he makes fucked up jokes knowing how young and impressionable his audience is. Once again, I've already spoken about this.
Honestly, like, you want my honest opinion about this? You want my honest opinion about this? I don't really care. I don't really care because kids nowadays are just on TikTok. They're like hooked up on Galaxy Gas and they're just doing stupid shit. Like drinking paint and like eating Tide Pods. Like if they're at home watching Majorkill and getting into, I don't know, Warhammer lore, that's probably like the safest thing that they can do nowadays. Like instead of like killing their brain cells by sticking their head into like freaking microwaves or whatever the next fair does. And as for the porn part, man, I like back in the day, like nowadays kids getting porn, easy as. Like you just go into like, you know, the yellow website, the orange website, you know, you fake a date and that's it. Back in the day, you have to do this shit with dial-up. And I'm telling you, that stuff was like playing Metal Gear Solid because not only does like the dial-up that you connect to the dial-up, it goes, it makes that noise and it wakes the entire house up. You will get caught if your parents like pick up the phone and then they hear like the freaking signal and everything and they just like rush down the stairs. It's like, it turns to like Five Nights at Freddy's. Like your mom will just like, your mom will be like that freaking like Foxy or whatever his name is. She'll just be zooming down. She'll just be like, shh, down into the living room and like slam open the door and they'll be like, what the fuck are you looking at? And you'll be like, no mom, don't turn on the monitor, no! It's like, oh, show me the fucking like history, browser history. And like, no, never. And just like you just like yank the power cord from the computer so she like can't get any of the evidence. That's how it was, like trying to get porn. But you do it anyways. You figure out the way, you figure out like, okay, your parents won't be in the house at like 10, okay, your mom will not be in the house at 10:30 to 2 o'clock, and okay, so your dad will be away then, so you got like a 30-minute time period. Okay, but they might call in, they might call in the house to make sure that, you know, they can actually call in so that you're not on the dial-up. They're probably gonna do it like, okay, so for the first 10 minutes they'll be in the car, so the probability is that after they leave, maybe after 5 minutes, I can go online, do the 50 like on the dial-up modem, and then I'll exactly like 2 minutes to jerk off, and then after that I need to immediately like turn the computer off. Like And was it worth it? Yeah, it was. Like when a kid wants to look at porn, they will go through like the wildest shit. They'll go through the wildest shit. They'll do like the most crazy arithmetic. There's no stopping them. They're like the Terminator. They're like the Gooninator. You cannot reason with them. They just want to goon. Speaks from experience. Yeah, I think it's the same. Like everyone's the same. Like everyone did the same thing. First-hand experience. Don't need to talk about the other one. Well, as a person who watched Shonen Jump with To Love Ru was on weekly publications, I can't give a damn.
But Pontius doesn't do his...
Yeah, if you're in Japan, just walk down to like the local, store and just get the raunchy magazine. I mean, but maybe it's a New Zealand thing, man. Like over here, you don't really get any entertainment. You're just stuck in the middle of nowhere.
Due diligence, so I'll just go over it again. Less than 4% of my audience is under the age of 8.
I actually want to look at this. Wait. He's got like a pretty high female... He's got like a pretty high female rate. It's probably because he's, kind of muscular. I actually want to look at Coordinate Gains, age and gender. He's probably got like a... I'm sure like the ladies love him. But the age and gender, the age here looks accurate. Yeah, he's got like a higher female ratio.
Less than 4%. If you break that down further and let's say that a kid is anyone under 14 or under, it would be closer to 1 to 2%. I know Pontius probably feels really self-righteous saying that I'm selling porn to kids, but if 98 to 99% of my audience are not children, then it's just clear.
Did you motherfucker just clip me? Oh yeah. Wait. Sorry about that.
Misinformation. Maybe he looks at his own analytics and sees it's full of kids because I doubt many serious adults watch this sort of trash, and then from that he just makes his assumptions. But to me, he's just once again making shit up for dramatic effect. Bit of a hypocrite claiming he checks his sources and makes sure he has all the facts, and then raging at other people who he believes hasn't, and then goes ahead with lies and misinterpretations. Also, my Patreon is 18 plus only and paywalled. Sure, that's not bulletproof, but if a kid wants to see some boobs, he's gonna see some boobs. It's called the fucking internet. Now, something I do find...
I have to say is that no offense, but I think the art would be a lot better if you find whoever did Adeptus Ridiculous's artwork, because I think like as a professional, I think whoever does Bricky's artwork, like that's the one thing he has, like that's the one thing I will praise about Bricky, is that he has a good eye for artists. Yeah. Just a professional opinion.
A pain in the ass is that whenever someone likes to criticize my content and channel, they almost always use very old videos to do so.
Other than being grossly inaccurate on the lore, having more than one occasion made us uncomfortable because of too sexual jokes or even jokes about diseases.
Almost every video Pontius shows off and shits on is 3 or 4 years old. Even the Arch thing is like 4 years old, which makes it funny that suddenly Arch and his buddies are having a cry about it now. I'm gonna take that as a compliment, with that kind of criticism implying that my newer content is fucking great.
I do feel like going after old content is a little bit low. It's kind of stuff that like in during like the Gamergate days, or like during the the old like Twitter witch hunts, people would just dredge up old misconducts about you and then try to get you fired from your job. It does like reek a little bit about that. So that's not something I really subscribe to, but I think the main thing is that did the person actually change? So I think looking at gold, like the only way that would make sense is if that's building context to it's like a continuing behavior. So let's say this person has a habit of being racist, and currently he is still being racist. And you'd be like, okay, this guy is really bad, and this pattern of behavior has been going back over 7 years. I think that's more fair. But if someone just said something like raunchy, back like 7 years ago, and then they stopped doing it like, I don't know, like 4 years ago, and they've changed completely as a person, they've noticeably been trying to do better, then I think it's a little bit of a low blow.
Right, and people just can't seem to find issues with it. I do recognize...
And by the way, I can't really tell because I don't really watch Majorkill. Like, I'm sorry, like you are, I'm not gonna say I do not like you. I'm not gonna say you do not like it. I just don't watch any Warhammer lore. at all. I read my books. So it's not even like a personal thing. I just don't watch any Warhammer lore tubers recently.
Recognized that my older style was more about jokes, analogies,
Live by the sword, die by the sword. Oh, and obviously the second caveat is that if you do witch hunts on people, you do cancellation campaigns like, you know, people on Twitter do. Do not be surprised if people do that to you. You have established your own local standard, and people will apply your own local standard back to you. That is why manners and decorum is very, very important, because this goes all the way back to old customs. People will see how you treat people around you. People will see how, like, as a culture or as a person, how you treat, let's say, messengers or prisoners of war, or people in need of medicine, and they will apply the local standard back to you one of these days. So basically, what goes around comes around. So that's a very important thing to actually uphold in your everyday life. If you want people to treat you fairly, you have to treat other people fairly first. Like, duh, right? Like, am I like out of turn here? That's how I feel. Majorkill opened his up by being a brick before I have zero sympathy. Yeah, he was kind of a piece of shit when around like his 40, I would say like around his 40k subs to 100k subs time period. He was a bit of a piece of shit.
Memes for comedic effect, which did money.
Let's keep going.
I also recognize and have recognized many times that I haven't always been 100% accurate. I mean, I literally have dedicated videos discussing it and how I was making sure I was improving my methods of information to ensure better lore accuracy. I even made videos attempting to undo some lore damage from memes.
I did that as well, but I just want to do it for content.
It's the same with Reddit. People will cry and rage about videos I've made, but then only cite ones posted like
climbed over bodies and now want to say change is no longer cool. GTFO. That's the thing. I haven't really watched Majorkill recently, so I don't know. No, actually I lied. I watched a video where he talked about apparently there was like a AI Warhammer creator that was plagiarizing him. That one I did watch. And there was like some AI, not even AI, there was one AI, I think, and then there was like this other channel called like Lotera Saren that does like Warhammer lore, and he thought she was AI. But the bitch was so robotic that she was just really robotic, and she's not actually AI. And then it was really weird because it was kind of funny because like Majorkill, I feel like he was like low-key like hitting on her throughout the entire video, so I found that like kind of funny.
4 or 5 years ago. Personally, when I want to judge someone, I judge them on how they are today. Digging into
oh god, that one. Yeah. Not the character, like there's an actual channel called like Lotera Saren. Let me check up on her. And I'll be honest, like calling your channel Lotera Saren is really bad for SEO. But I guess if you like the character, then sure. You see, if I look at Lotera Saren, I'm getting all these videos. Whereas it's I'm not sure if she changed her channel name. Like I literally cannot find it because of like the bad SEO, because it's just getting muddled in with everything else. But there's like a female lore tuber that's actually called Lotera Saren lore. Maybe it's one word. What do you care? This is why your channel name is actually very important. And god, they stop throwing bricky at me. Anyways, this is a tangent. Let's keep going.
A decade ago is the biggest clutch at straws and just feeds into cancel culture.
Just searching my channel. I'll do it later.
Guys also complain about all
I don't
the
want to go on a
time.
tangent.
Word of the day: hypocrite. Pontius then goes on to discuss 2 things in his classic misconstrued style.
So, the guy is a serial backstabber that has backstabbed 2 of his own friends without remorse.
Firstly, he talks about me backstabbing Warhammer without remorse and how I shield peptides. Now,
I'm so sad that I wish I missed the Warhammer drama by like an hour, because the videos got removed.
he has made a
and I
big
never
point about
watched
no
the
remorse
original video.
thing, but both of these incidences I've publicly taken accountability for.
Good day, guys and girls. He writes like a complete spaz. I have decided to make Warhammer video private. This was on Reddit, right? I think I've read this. Channel evolved to be a niche corner. To be clear, that's step by what I said. We apologized. Choose Majorkill, coming to computer, engaging Los Maxi, cosplay, photo shoots, hectic. He keeps using the word hectic. And a boatload of battle mace, 40,000. Dude, imagine if GW comes after him for this, like after Garmac. Imagine after Garmac, GW comes after him for his SDL files. I really wish that Majorkill will make a video about Garmac because he's doing SDL files as well. Outwork, quote unquote, yeah.
Or the peptide thing got its own video where I responded to more.
Just searching my channel where tons would know about backstabbing, so Twitch subbers. Your comment about Italians. If Majorkill does that, like, if he actually calls them like Italian backstabbers, like, and just allude like World War I and World War II, that would be so perfect.
Morty and Glory, and this is actually what he said about my response.
I think Majorkill.
Wait, I wasn't expecting him like a glory hole reference. I wasn't expecting a glory hole jump scare. Let's read this.
Video where
let's
I
watch
responded
this.
to Morty and Glory, and this is actually what he said about my response.
I think Majorkill did a very, very good job of going, look, I definitely shouldn't have used those things side by side in the video. There's definitely a bit of muddying of the waters. And I think it's just a very good job, taking accountability of that and also clarifying the position.
I also take accountability with the Wes thing. I spoke to Wes privately.
Why is his Discord red? Is he colorblind? That might explain like his color scheme in his room. Anyways, I'm gonna scrap that and listen to how I am feeling. It feels like reading really bad TikTok messages. Definitely annoyed at myself and feeling a bit shit. I think my ego and hubris got the better of me. Okay, it's typing normally now. Strike out something bothered me. Okay, so he's having a schizo moment. That's a much better apology. First one I was taking it back, but I was just doubling down. For the record, I never stole anything from you. Okay, these guys are just talking like normal people. I think I got back in the corner. I was pissed about how things have gone down the backlash. Yep, seeing a normal perspective, it's pretty clear that there weren't any copy of Red Wolves, just two guys having similar strategy. Yeah, I mean, it's Warhammer lore. You guys are just literally drawing from the same Imperial Armor book. Like that Imperial Armor book has been gone around like a reheated dinner. Like it's like the Imperial Armor book is basically like last week's leftover casserole that's been reheated way too many times. I am glad that you've been realized you're out of line. In the future, I request if you're going to talk about me in the video, you should come to me. That's probably the proper decorum. It's so we have Majorkill and Westhammer, and both of these people are like talking properly like actual human beings, and this is so wild to me. This is so out of character. And then meanwhile, we've got like Arbitrary Ian from that from the Pontius video, who is like, so what? Oh, female spaceman, blah 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 blah. So what? I don't give a shit. I just want to put my politics. It's so weird. Like the two people that I actually expect to be like really freaking unhinged, like talking about like the subject like normal people.
And I did a public post about it.
Not even normal people. Not even like normal people. Like with like normal people with like actual like punctuations. Like with proper paragraphs.
And I did a public post about it. I don't know what else.
It seems like Lotara Law Channel is gone. Wait, is it actually gone? The channel was on hiatus. She was doing really well. She went over it went over 10k like really quickly. Was she caught for plagiarizing or something like that? Or maybe AI? But she wasn't an AI. She actually posted like her face and everything. And her narrating. Unless it's some really... She did uni work? She's a student. I mean... Okay.
to be totally infallible and make zero mistakes is insane. If you want someone to be held accountable for something they did that you disagree with, and then they are held accountable, if you then don't move on, then you never wanted accountability to begin with, you wanted punishment and cancellation, making you a pretty sad, bitter person, especially in the context of Warhammer lore on YouTube. Like, this isn't life or death, guys. This is a hobby about super soldiers killing aliens and shit. If you are as angry as Pontius, especially over things that aren't true or misrepresented or things that happened 4 years ago, then you have some serious unresolved issues.
I think for Pontius, he did mention that he was going through some life changes, or he was feeling like a bit depressed. And I feel like, not even I feel like, I believe that he said that Warhammer 40k basically brought him from like a pretty dark brink. So in that regard, I think for Majorkill, he might see this as a hobby or even like a job, but I think it's something more substantial for the Pontius. And I think in a way he sees like Warhammer 40k as something that's like beyond a hobby. Like, it's probably like a very close friend to him, and his relationship to it is probably a lot close. Like, it's almost like it's gonna sound really weird. It's probably like his waifu. Like, he probably sees it like the same way people sees like their like Miku Daki like waifu. And then seeing people like disrespect the lore is almost like getting NTR'd.
He's not funny. If any
It's not like MK knows about that. What? He hasn't had his daily espresso that day, but it's not MK. Okay.
thing is the worst kind of comedian, an unfunny one.
Pontius makes a point that I am unfunny, and look, you don't have to find me funny. My sense of humor is not universal. However, some people
No, it's just Australian humor. It's yeah,
do
never
find
is
me
good.
funny, close to 700,000 or so. So it just makes Pontius come across as an extremely bitter, jealous person. Now this next one did actually make me laugh, and of course it was another lie based on a huge stretch of an assumption.
But I have the suspicion that for the entirety of the video, he was cheating the answers to the lore question.
Almost every time he answers, he looks at his lower left. Is he reading from something? I would be surprised if the entire video was fake, like wrestling. Like, it was just him and then Wes having like a very homoerotic moment together.
That were being asked.
How's MK Ultra's General doing, by the way? I have no idea because I don't really follow him that much. Like I said, I don't really watch... Like, I don't even listen to Warhammer lore in the background nowadays.
He kept looking every time the camera was on him.
And that's because every single... Like, it feels like every single bit of lore channel now just does like random trivia about random Space Marine chapters. And then the Badab War. And then Vrax. And then back to the Badab War. And then back to obscure Horus Heresy Space Marine trivia. And then back to the Badab War. Guys, you guys need to like find some new material, man. It gets really old. Like, cover the Eldar or something, like, jeez.
Him in the same exact spot, as if he was reading the answers because Voldemort was on speaker. We have no guarantee that Majorkill was alone, so it is my suspicion.
Ash did it first. Yeah, I feel like Vrax, I mean, the whole Creek thing and the whole Vrax and the Civil War thing, I think Ash opened up the entire topic first.
That in that video it was
to the point where a lot of the metaphors that Ash was actually repeated by, funnily enough, Bricky. Because Ash described the Krieg mounts as being like grizzly bears, and then I believe in the Adeptus Ridiculous episode, they basically used the same metaphor. So, I mean, this is the wrong video to get into that, so I'm not going to go on a tangent, but I find that kind of interesting.
Cheating during a lore contest. A guy that considers himself a lore expert. Do you want to see how much this guy sucks at the lore?
He said that
I wonder if any channels can do a TTS-style narrative battle report with Crusade rules. I would love to see it. Man, Crusade would be really cool, but it's just that... Yeah, I wish the channel would actually just do like a narrative Crusade, like almost like a 10-episode type of thing. That would be really cool. And just let people like vote on the upgrades, on the Yeah, Crusade Point upgrade.
During my quiz battle against Weshammer hosted by Voldemort to ensure legitimacy, I cheated because I kept looking at the same spot. Like I had some kind of mega Warhammer nerd rapidly typing out the answers to the questions so I could cheat in a low...
They had a third guy explain the entire lore. Was it Kirioth? Ricky and his DK, what's his name? Like DK Diamantes, and then the Shy as well. Oh, Shy. Oh, yeah. Shy had some really... Okay, so there's the other host, Shy. She had some really edgy comments. And then when Edric took off, she deleted like her entire channel. She's a very edgy person.
Stakes charity Warhammer trivia game. My lord, just saying that out loud. I hope you guys can see how pathetic this is. Maybe Pontius isn't used to interacting with humans in person or something, but it's universally known that when people have to think about things, they often look in specific directions.
Looking in a certain direction while thinking is a subconscious action linked to different thought process. I just know that every time I talk to a girl, if she starts like talking and she starts like looking up, like her eyes starts rolling back, like, you know, that's when she's lying. That's when that bitch is lying and she's about to say something really retarded. You know the look where like a woman, she's talking and then she starts like, her eyes starts drifting upwards and then she starts having like bird hand moments. She's like, that's when like the retarded shit will pop up.
Directions, depending on the cerebral process involved. Some people look up, some people look down, some look left, some look right. I was answering complex niche Warhammer 40k questions and I had to rack my brain. I also ended up losing the trivia match, so it's just straight up the most retarded point Pontius has ever made. Like the rest of his arguments are bad faith, but this one was just sad. Now for his apparent silver bullet moment, getting the female custodian lore wrong.
The video is called Female Custodians Are Now 100% Canon. What does this mean for Warhammer 40k? It specifically goes over during the
I had to chop this up a bit because he rages a lot. You might as well chop his entire channel.
The story of the first of the 3 custodians mentioned in the codex. Majorkill, in his explanation, gets the ending of it completely fucking wrong. It is bewildering for a 20 minutes video. A lore YouTuber didn't bother to read the 2 fucking pages of lore.
In my video discussing
the lore was right there.
Female custodies, I highlight on a leaked short story about a female custodian who tried to win a blood game by teleporting a nuke into the Imperial Palace. When I discussed it, I was reading about a leak from an unreleased custodian codex and only had 1 page. I got the end of the short story slightly wrong as it was on the next page that I didn't have, and someone else told me the ending, but they were slightly off.
No, wait. You are
I mean, if you did not have the full story, I mean, I don't know, like if you, it feels like chasing the not chasing the it feels like chasing a headline. A little bit, like if you do not have the full page, you do not have the full story, like you're just headcanoning like the missing parts, right? Like, I mean, that's, I mean, come on. I know why, I know the circumstances, but like, should you have done that? Likely story, why not leave it open-ended then? He either lied or bullshitted you, a lore master, mind you. Yeah, I mean, this part's more indefensible.
You are showing the lore.
Honestly, let's blame this on GW's codex prices and practices. I mean, if he did not have the full story, should you really have done a lore video about this? He could have waited, but you know, having the sensational headline first out on YouTube is also good for you. So I mean, I don't want to use the word grifter because that's something entirely different, but it does carry that taste. Let's keep going.
On screen. Did he just fucking
that is either sloppy or lie. It is definitely sloppy.
He's on screen.
We have a sloppy Joe situation here.
Basically, I said that the person who reported the custodian to the palace was punished. In actuality, it was the captain who was following the custodian's orders. Pontius uses this as some sort of glorious aha, see moment, but if you actually take a step back and look at it, what a fucking loser. He said that the lore was right in front of me on my video. He was wrong. I was referencing the 1 page I had that was leaked that didn't have that piece of the story on it, but we're used to that by now. Sure, I'll admit it. I got 2 unimportant characters mixed up on a leaked page of a codex which didn't actually show the end of the story I was referencing. My bad.
But But I mean, at a certain point, you have to take responsibility for using a bad source. It's like, hey, yo, I'm gonna make some pizza, and then you use like bad dough or like expired tomatoes, and it'd be like, you know, it was expired, but you know, I want to make a pizza anyway. But you did not have to make that pizza with, you know, you could have gone to the store and got some fresh tomatoes. And by that I mean actually wait like several weeks for the actual codex to come out. Sorry, let me read chat. Counter argument, big book and no ebook. It was on screen. Oh, I remember this law was leaked. Yeah, this was leaked before the codex was released. Like, so he was basically just, he took the risk of just chasing the headline and then using that incomplete, like an incomplete source, and he just took that risk, and then the risk. I mean, the video did well. At the end of the day, the video did well. It was just very sloppy. You might even say unethical. His argument is, I did a sloppy, who cares? Oh, by the way, Battlefield Slick King, I forgot about that game completely. I don't even chase that game. I got Helldivers, I'm happy.
Bad guys, yes, you got me. I know nothing about Warhammer lore.
We have an unfunny and generally completely morally bankrupt person trying to be a lore YouTuber, while making minor and major mistakes in every single video of lore he ever made. Why the fuck are people even following this guy?
Tasteful as always, Pontius then wraps it up saying, I have no commitment to the lore.
I think there are just some people who are in this space who do not really care about lore accuracy. They're just here for the entertainment. Honestly, some people just don't even want it to be, they just want something to listen to. They're not even like proper 40k fans. They just want like they're just there for the story time. They're just there for the story time. So lore accuracy is not really that important to them. They just find them entertaining and they just want him to tell any story. Because they're not even invested in Warhammer 40k. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, there are always people who just want to be, they kind of like the setting, they don't care if the setting is, it's like people going to Pizza Hut. It's like people going to Pizza Hut. Not enough people care, it's not an argument. No, I'm just saying. It's like some people just go to Pizza Hut, and it's not like every time you eat a pizza, you want the most authentic pizza. People just want something that's just cheap and greasy. You know, cheap and sloppy. And they do not care if it's authentic or not. They just want something that's like white noise or just there as entertainment. It's like saying, you know, every time you go out, you want like the most authentic version of the Chinese food. You want more authentic version of Italian food, the most authentic version of, I'm not going to say English food because that shit, nah, I'm just kidding. You know, but at the end of the day, it's things like McDonald's, Pizza Hut, and freaking Panda Express also exist.
Let's just see how little commitment
I finally finished my turn. Good on you.
I've read the entire Horus Heresy, including the Siege of Terra and all.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is a free market. Like, this is a free market, right? So if people are subscribing to Majorkill, like, they see merit there. They see merit there in a way that's not measurable by your scale. So if your scale, like for yourself, if what you think a good lore tuber is just pure information, you're not wrong. It's just, that's just your scale. Like, people view the scale differently, and then as a mix, you've got an open, like, wider free market of ideas. And so if that resonates with you, then people will subscribe to you. If it doesn't resonate with you, people won't subscribe. So at the end of the day, you know, the number doesn't lie. People want to know the easy way to process it. And like, I met my uni senpai a month ago, and she asked me, is Biggie even actually alive? And I asked back, do you want the spicy self-interpretation of the actual lore piece? And here's the actual thing as well. There's nothing preventing you to be lore accurate and entertaining at the same time. That's my opinion. Like, in my opinion, like, Bricky can be, like, these are not mutually exclusive things. Ricky can be lore accurate and entertaining at the same time. Majorkill could be more accurate. Like he could, by the way, this is his template, his way of doing things is entertaining. The way he talks, people do find that entertaining. Like, you know, obviously he's got almost 700,000 subscribers. There's nothing preventing him to be more accurate while keeping this entire format at the same time. And if he chooses to chase a headline and become like, you know, he's passing on through fake news, then that's not that's very irresponsible, and you can probably fault him for that. So could he do better? I'd say yes. Should he be crucified for not following that? You know, being inaccurate? I mean, it's you know, you don't want to say, you know, it's hard to say, like you like crucifying people for just doing that, like, man. At least he isn't IGN puppet. I know it's a low bar, but still, yeah, that's a very low bar.
Short stories. I've read the entirety of the Caiaphas Cain series, the entire Night Lords trilogy, the entire Inquisition series, including Ravenor and Bequin. I've also read a number
I mean, technically you do not read it, just listen to it, but that's fine.
Of other non-series novels such as Valdor, Birth of the Imperium, The Infinite and the Divine, Lion, Son of the Forest, multiple Primarch books, among others, and I'm currently...
We've seen through this session at least 3 puppets. I mean, like, here's the thing, we watched through the entire Pontius video. Is Majorkill the worst person on that list? Was Majorkill the worst person on it? Was Majorkill the section where we stayed almost like an entire hour for? No, that's not even close. It's... Okay, is Majorkill even the top 3 worst person that we saw in the Pontius video? In my opinion. I think the worst person was Ian. I would put Templin up there on the list as well, but his entire channel is dead, so I'm just gonna take him off the list. I think the worst person, from what we saw, from the information that we saw, it's Ian. Let's have a vote. Can I even do votes on Twitch? I actually want to find out. Chat settings. I'm not sure if I can do polls. Maybe you can... I cannot cheer in my own channel, okay. I'm not sure if I can do polls, but look, we don't have a lot of people in chat, so we can just type it out. The worst 3 in order in that Pontius video, I think Ian was the worst. And then it was basically followed by Bricky. I mean, this is gonna pain me because Bricky annoys me so much. But Goobertown and Ians of Battle, they're not Warhammer 40k YouTubers. They're not lore tubers, but their takes were really bad as well. But are they lore tubers? No. So, I mean, okay, so I'm going to put Bricky in number 2. And who else was there? If Templin was still on the list, she'd definitely be number 2. But without Templin there, I think Bricky's number 2. And then for number 3... You need to let go of your hate of Bricky. It's carried to Ian. No, that's why Ian's at the top of the list. Is it Westhammer? Is Westhammer worse than Majorkill? I mean, just for that haircut, I mean, he has to be, right? But is he on the top 3? I don't think he is. Let me go back to Pontius. Well, then why does he look like Darkside Phil? Anyways, I'm definitely missing someone. This is Westhammer. This is Ian.
It's Bill.
Sorry, Majorkill. Like, he's not even a lore trooper, but I'm just gonna pull in Goober Town. I'm just gonna pull in Goober Town at number 3. Because there's something really off about his whole, like, Twitter nonsense with, Ian. Now, Wes is actively malicious, like he berates random viewers. Oh, really? I don't know about that, so I can't really comment. It's not part of that video, I'm just judging from that video. Ian first, Wes second, followed by Bricky. I only know of Margin Phil, the Major Mass speedrunner. Wait, you seriously don't know who Darkside Phil is? Anyways.
Working through Dark Imperium to brush up on my modern day lore. That is almost 100 full-length 40k.
Change position of Wes and Bricky. I've put Bricky on second as well because just due to his influence. Just due to his, like, the influence between Bricky and Ian. I'll put Ian on first because he seems a bit more, he's way more unapologetic about it. And then you have Bricky, who carries the same opinion, but he's like sneakier about it. He like unlists his video and all of that, and also his sphere of influence. And then Goober Town just gives me the creeps.
Novels. I've also painted Eldar, Custodes, or
Bricky is crashing though. Yeah, Bricky is crashing, but he's still going around trying to spread his influence. Just like going around doing collabs and all of that.
Orcs, and I'm working on a Night Lord's kill team. I'd say that puts me in the top 0.01%, if not higher, of Warhammer lore readers. I wonder if Pontius has gotten through that many. Maybe he has. But either way, saying I have no commitment to the lore is once again the most brain-dead thing I've heard today, and that's saying something since I've heard nothing but brain-dead moments from this guy. Now the issue here is that Pontius doesn't like my content or finds me inaccurate or doesn't like my style or is pointing out a new problem. I'll cop that. I don't need people to like me or validate me. I actually like the fact that I'm not everyone's cup of tea. The issue is that he is a fucking liar, and everything he's discussed and gotten wrong, either through flat out lies or misrepresenting the truth, are things he could have fact-checked pretty easily. The reason why he didn't is because it doesn't fit his narrative. He hates me, he wants you to hate me, it's hard to convince you to do that if all of his points are
He's just racist against Australians.
Invalid or extremely overblown.
As a person from New Zealand, I totally understand that.
This also,
in fact, I almost support that.
Ties in with a wider issue with these kinds of guys and the overall issue of 40k lore. As I've said many times, Warhammer 40k lore represents decades of storytelling spread across hundreds of books with many retcons and a lot of lore that is open to interpretation. GW often also makes in-lore mistakes and canon conflicts, making it even more confusing. Even AI struggles to comprehend it despite having a literal computer brain. Sometimes lore YouTubers get things wrong. The fucking hypocrite.
It's the amount of times that they get wrong and the magnitude whether you get things wrong that's the problem. And whether or not they actually do their due diligence, like do they actually try to, like do they just not care? Right? So all of these things are factors that I use to see like whether or not they're just like grifting Warhammer 40k content. And then I was also made to notice I misremembered the scene where the woman sees a Marine towering and sees his equipment. Even if I do remember a similar scene in the Heresy, I would check. The scene isn't in the Horus Rising by Emperor's Gift. Unfortunately, I read a lot of material and stuff fuses together sometimes, that's understandable, so yeah, correct lore, just the wrong source. The actual lore is a woman sees a Grey Knight showering. I believe that was like, was it Castellan Stern or was it Stern or I think it was Stern, right? Because you would not be anywhere near Castellan Crow when he's got the freaking like black sword of Antwer near him. I think that was like the girl looking at Captain Stern, if I remember right. Or was it like a normal? Was it a normal Grey Knight? Fuck, I should not have opened that can of worms. Let's keep going.
Got something wrong in his video, a mistake that is easily comparable to.
Dude used a half leak and stopped caring afterwards. Nah, MJ, you fucked up. Ego. Yeah. We don't have any Grey Knights, for example, of Empress Jordan and humans following them.
To my mistake about who got server to.
And we know why, lol. Oh man, I wish that was me.
In the female custodian segment. If he had approached this with facts, a calm tone and less personal bias, then maybe he could have made a point. But he did the opposite, and if you think his video is clever or well thought out, then I'm sorry, you two need to touch grass. I'll end on this. What is better for Warhammer and bringing people into the hobby? Lots of lore videos from lots of different lore creators with different styles that are 98 to 100% lore accurate and are easy to digest.
Do you know what my conspiracy is? Am I allowed to make another conspiracy? Am I allowed to do 2 major conspiracies in one stream? So, my conspiracy is that certain, like, when people make lore channels, when people make lore content, they get stuff wrong sometimes on purpose just to drive up the engagement. So I feel like, because this is an actual technique that's used in like in sales and fact finding, and it's called elicitation. And this is where people make like general statements that they know are generally incorrect just to drive like a response. You know the phrase, you know the meme where it's like, hey, if I want to find an answer and I post it on Reddit as a question, no one will answer it. But if I give the wrong answer, on Reddit, or I make a wrong statement on Reddit, there will be a lot of people just be jumping in trying to correct me. So that's called elicitation. And I wonder if sometimes these lore channels do this on purpose, just so people go, actually, the emperor is just like, he's actually not Turkish, he's actually Australian. Yeah. Shit like that. So I wonder like how much of that is actually on purpose.
Just allowing newcomers into the hobby, or a rage-fueled self-proclaimed true lore master. The dude literally calls himself that, but
yeah, that's I saw this when I was making the thumbnail, and I was like, if I put that on my video, people might actually think that I like edited the thumbnail, because it does look a little bit deranged. But
by the way, with this
that's also because Reddit is filled with pseudo-intellectual assholes. Like back in the day, there was a guy who's posting shit on EC subreddit saying, I want to make EC OC warband that worships Zinch and despises Slander, and made like multiple posts where people are quite angry. Maybe the real lore masters are the friends we made along the way. That's definitely true. And you can find a lot of them on my Discord, so you should definitely join my Discord if, once I post this clip, and, just go in it.
Strong personal agenda and has zero tolerance for any mistakes, no matter how innocent or understandable. Who would you rather hang out with or talk about Warhammer with? Who is going to bring people into the hobby?
Then he posted on the Blood Angel subreddit he wanted to make OC chapters that he wanted BA successors that were secretly Night Lord. That guy is a masturbator.
I'll take this a step further. Astartes was full of lore problems before GW bought it and made it canon. The Retributors didn't exist.
That guy may not be a gooner, but he's definitely masturbating.
Those Psyker guys didn't exist. The alien orb thing didn't exist. It was full of lore problems, yet it was also considered one of the greatest pieces of Warhammer content ever made. It was universally celebrated and brought in hundreds of thousands of people into the hobby, if not millions. Pontius is a sad little man and not what we want the community to be. Even if you agree with a lot of his lore opinions, such as no female space marines, which I actually agree with,
remember, you can always disagree with people in a civil, respectful manner. Just abusing them by calling them a Nazi or woke or some stupid culture war buzzword makes you an incredibly
shouldn't be female space marines. He's not the person you want to champion or to represent you. I'm only being this brutal because he's a fucking liar and I have no tolerance for that kind of shit. Hopefully he learns from this, but somehow I doubt it.
Hey, are we ready to read the comment section? Because I know for a fact that the Pontius has replied. In fact, it's even pinned. And in fact, I feel like this could have been a video. This would have been really nice as a video. I would definitely react to this. If there was like a back and forth, that would be really freaking funny. Unfortunately, we do not live in the perfect world. We do live in a grim, dark universe. I mean, we're definitely, we're definitely living in a society that's slightly dystopic. And so we do not always get what we want. Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at like 631 replies, man. talking with the Pontius would be awesome. Like, by Buddha and Jesus, what are you typing? LMAO. Talking with Majorkill would be pain. I saw his first message with Ash Warhammer, and that shit like gave me an aneurysm. Was just watching an old podcast and didn't realize you were alive. Hey, yo, what's up? Nah, it's fine. Just, you know, just enjoy your life. You don't have to be in here. It's nice to have you in here, but, you know. Notice how everything good about Warhammer comes from its community. I can't say video fighting is boring. Just get in a phone call and have a chat instead of a video, then 2 days later give the guy time to plan the video out, you know. Soy man sport. wait, Ackman, where? Oh, no, it's the Act Ma'am. It's the Act Ma'am. Now that guy just gets you know, sent to me randomly by YouTube because he's a big channel, and I look at gaming news. Okay, so anyways, let's look at the actual comment for this. Bro, that's not a comment. That's like a whole script. That's a whole ass Hollywood script. That's I think this statement, you know, the funniest thing is that I think this statement about Warhammer lore beef is like longer than this guy's like actual legal defense about getting sued by GW. It's almost just as long. So I'm gonna read this. Just give me some water. I'll be right back. Editor, please add the Minecraft drinking noise sound effect. Anyways, number one, while by itself Ash didn't lead you to your boom on YouTube, all the same he gave you your first spotlight. Saying he contributed almost nothing to your growth of your channel is disingenuous at best. Number two, I love how you completely skipped the fact that after Ash and I talked about how you backstabbed Westhammer. I mean, it would be nice if Westhammer actually, you know, came in and then made a comment as well, as that would completely destroy your narrative as a good person for the whole context of the video I talked about. I mean, we really need like Westhammer to come in to really confirm this. Number three, you then went directly to the claim of your hentais and peptides. That sounds like a really bad band name, like hentais and peptides. Imagine like a rock band. It sounds like a deranged, like, it sounds like a really bad book novel, like one of those light novel plot titles. I can't believe my little sister is into hentais and peptides. Nah. Saying that 4% of your audience is composed by children on YouTube, yeah, because nobody ever lied on their age when making a YouTube account to be able to watch age-restricted content in all caps. And nobody usually uses the account of their parents to watch YouTube videos. Number four, not many adults watch my sort of trash. Kids these days can't stomach a 15-minute video, mate. I make multi-hour long analysis. Trust me, kids would get extremely bored. I don't know, your voice is kind of entertaining, man. My Patreon is paywalled and age restricted, but if a teen wants to see some boobs, he will see some boobs. So it is pretty much denying responsibility. Got it. I'll be honest, there's better boobs out there. The fact that you said you took accountability for stuff wrong with Westhammer and your peptide shilling is admirable. But it doesn't change the fact, it doesn't change that you did it in the first place. You retracted and apologized only when other people made you notice that you were doing something wrong. Majorkill. Right, number 7. I never once called for your cancellation or anything like that to be done for you and the entire channel. If people don't believe me, they can go and you can go watch the videos themselves. But I have to say, mate, all you did doesn't paint you in the best of lights. That was my main argument for your part of the video. I think you're unfunny, very edgy, inaccurate to the extreme to the lore, and if people don't keep you accountable, I'm reading like a retard. I am sorry. Like it happened with Westhammer and the peptide sink, you were just shrugging and go on if nothing happens. Mostly is based on you, not on the people watching you. Let's read the comment a little bit. Guys, can you stop talking about like the soy man? Soy egg man? I know he's there, it's not my fault. Anyways, you click on 631 replies. Pontius is the dude. Yeah. Majorkill did reply to this. I mean, is he expecting him to be psycho or something though? I'll actually go through this and then just read through this. Me, bitter and jealous mate, if I was jealous every single of my video, I would spend calling out inaccuracies in your content. The point is that I'm tired of the state of the community and partially you are the current cause of the state of the community. For the cheating stuff about the law of Warhammer, give the full context. I said it was my suspicion that you were cheating because your body language was extremely weird. It's like you're going to take an exam in the university and keep looking at the desk constantly while the professor's looking at you and you're asking questions. Obviously, after a while, you know that something is wrong. He never said he did it. I suspected that you weren't interacting with the human, you were looking at the camera. This is a straight up lie. It would be really nice if you actually added timestamps. You should have just added timestamps, so addressing it will be easier because, you know, saying number 10, this is a straight up lie, is a little bit sloppy. When you made that video, the codex was fully out on the internet already. And, oh, really? Okay, if there's like a straight out lie, I mean, that's a very bad look. And even then, do you really want people to believe that you got with only one page and not the second, ending the entire story right in spirit but wrong in the ending? Really? You predicted the custodians teleporting in and Cash punishing the crew because that happens literally at the end of the second page. Where was that?
I have public 6 of 7 custodian Imperial.
Where was that?
I'll just kill.
I actually want to look at that. That's
no lie. Even I've already since after I last spoke because he made that my new damage from memes. It's the same with Reddit.
Backstab the two of his own
Job of going.
I also take accountability to define me
on him in the same exact
fun, like I had some kind of humans in person. I was answering complex niche Warhammer 40k questions and I
Warhammer 40k.
My thoughts on female custodies. Okay, when was that? Let's take a look. My thoughts on female custodies. Majorkill, my thoughts on female custodies. Shit.
G'day guys and
does it actually give me the actual date? So that's the actual video. YouTube video upload date by link. To find a video from a day, hover your mouse over the relative time. Okay. We're doing like a little bit of investigation. This was April 16, 2024, roughly a year ago, so Custodies 10th edition then. Custodies 10th edition release date. April 20th. The release date of the 10th edition of Codex for the, I'm reading like a retard, it's 4 a.m. It's 6 a.m. The release date for the 10th edition Codex for Adeptus Custodies was April 20th, 2024. With some sources specifying release date April 27th. So when was that actually posted? So this came out 6 days before the actual release. So unless he managed to get a leaked version of the Codex, at that time the Codex was not actually released. Am I crazy? Like, is this correct or not? Am I interpreting this badly? So that's the 16th and the release is 20th. And so the statement here says that when you made, by the way, that's the time when the video was posted, so there's probably like a day of editing as well. So it says that this is a straight up lie. When you made that video, the Codex was fully out on the internet already. Okay, so it's talking about on the internet. Okay, that's harder for me to check. That's harder for me to check. No, I'm going to try and check. Custodies. 10th edition leaks. Reddit. This obviously will be on Reddit. Lore leaks, maybe. Was this so this was on... Why is this in 2023? No, this is probably talking about something. Let's look at this. April 13th, 2024. So assuming that this actually leaks, like assuming that like the rules actually, like this, you can actually see the codex right here. But I'm not sure it was a full book, so there was definitely a leak. No, let's look at this. I got deleted. So this was on the 14th. I think like Pontius is probably correct, but I can see like a universe where the Majorkill is probably correct as well, because he might not actually have that full leak. He might have only had that page. But okay, so following on, so this is the actual qualifier. An entire story right in spirit, but wrong in the ending. Really, you predicted the custodian teleporting in and Cash punishing the crew? That's a wild thing to actually predict. Because that literally happened, that happens literally at the end of the second page. I need to think about that. I need to think about that. You trusted what was told to you by someone else to make a lore video, really? I mean, yeah. Flexing how much you read, if you get stuff wrong, it's not the good point you really think it is, mate. No, he showed the anime, man, for 0.2 seconds. I'm getting psychic attacks. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. There's reading, and then there's reading. There's reading, and then there's like reading. And I feel like a lot of the times people just listen to the audiobook while they're at the gym as like white noise. And they consider that reading, but none of the information actually filters into the head. And then you've got like the actual reading where you just sit on the chair and you pay proper attention. So I'm guessing that might have happened. Flexing how you really, sorry, flexing how much you read. If you get stuff wrong, it's not a good point. You think it is, mate. Why does he keep using the word mate? It feels like really passive aggressive, especially when you're like Italian and you're not like a Australian or like a British person. It feels like you remember like in 2000 and like you remember like around the 2010s when Call of Duty 2 came out. And then suddenly every single like 12-year-old on the internet just starts using the word muffet as like an insult. Like they'll call you like a muffet because that's like the cool term that, you know, Captain Price used. And they think it's like a sick burn because it sounds really exotic. Like he's got like a one-up over you by using the word like mate and muffet. It just sounds really passive-aggressive, man. Like that's... I use mate and fellas all the time. Gee, I don't know, bucko. I don't know, friendo. Bud. I can't stand you. I won't say I hate you because it is inaccurate, but all I did in the video was literally show you for what you showed YouTube. I don't want anyone to hate you. I have no reason, but I would like you to be better. You are really trying to use the fact that I confused two similar scenes in different books, but I still said the current lore but attributed to Horus Rising instead of Emperor's Gift as a sign I don't know the lore. Mate! By this point I have read... Oh my god. Is he doing this shit on purpose? is he doing this shit on purpose? What the fuck did you say about me, you little bitch? I'll have you know I graduated at the top of my class in the Navy SEALs, and I've been involved in numerous secret raids with Al-Qaeda, and I've over 300 confirmed kills. I am trained in guerrilla warfare, and I'm a top sniper in the entire US Armed Forces. Mate, by this point, I've read upwards of 250 books. I mastered the Codex Astartes, and I excel in Raven Guard guerrilla warfare. Since I was a neophyte 3 years ago, I have participated in 30 crusades. Okay. Beginning 3 years ago, I can get stuff confused between books, but I don't get stuff wrong. I'm sorry, man. That was handed to me in a silver platter. Why did it show 6th Street? The cringe is too powerful, but those books spins a pristine no Pontius collab. So no, no. I will collab with them as long as there's like a third person. As long as there's like a third person, otherwise it's just really gay. And honestly, I have a bad accent. He has a bad accent. If we are together, I think the stream is literally unwatchable. So I think that, I think for that to ever happen, I think either you need like a female as like a third co-host or someone like with a British accent or something, just to you know bring the, you know, it's like yin yang, right? Just to bring the thing down, like even out the thing, even out the bad English. People will watch the unwatchable. They just use it as white noise as they paint their models. I approached this with a this just fucked me up, dude. I approached this with facts, mate. The fact offends you is not literally my problem. If you had bothered to watch my entire video instead of watching just your part, I explained that new people are always welcome as long as they are willing to learn the lore and join the hobby organically. I have zero problems with them. If anything, I am the first one open to teaching them. My problem is with activists coming in, being offended by everything, and then demanding changes for a hobby they don't care about. I am not for full gatekeeping. I am for gatekeeping bad actors, which is, I don't mean, that's fair enough. Oh, by the way, has Majorkill ever collabed with anyone? Because I know Cornet Gaines has been looking for him, but I'm not sure if Majorkill ever collabs with anyone, like online or offline. Which is a shame, because I think Majorkill is like quite an interesting, like he's got like an interesting person. But then again, him and Ash, that happened so long ago. Those it was that like collab was not very interesting. Like if he ever collabs, he needs to actually keep in character. Why should I have tolerance for big mistakes and misinterpretations of the lore? People are taking on mantle of lore masters. This is why I'll never admit to being a lore master. I'll admit to be like a serial shit poster and like a anime gooner. But I'm not a lore master, guys. I may make like let me put this on record. I may make content with the words lore accurate plastered on the thumbnail, but I'm not a lore master. I'm just a serial shit poster and gamer. Yeah, I'm just putting it out there, like just for posterity. Like I know this is gonna get clipped. I just wanted to be put out there, so like I don't want like 7 years later like someone like starts coming after me and be like, you're a liar. Hereticus, you're a liar. I trusted you. People are taking on the mantle of lore masters and then taking the vast majority of their own lore wrong. Even spelled the title of the Age of Apostasy video wrong. This is hell to read if you've got dyslexia. You literally called it the apostasy, and then with a C, you claim not to be an expert for how much that is countered by what you showed about reading hundreds of books, but you are taking on the role of lore YouTuber, and by definition, by the way, if anyone watches my content and then take me seriously at all after watching all my EXE videos, I think it's on you, man. It is your duty to be correct as possible. You are either a lore expert or you are not a lore channel. You can't be both. You're either a lore expert or you're not a lore channel. You can't be both. Yeah, that's why I'm a serial ship poster. Astartes was a fan-made content. It wasn't made by design to be accurate to the lore 100% or represent events that have indeed happened in the lore. It is why it got leeway even from people like me. It is unofficial. Like GW made it official though. Like sometimes you make fan-made content that's so good that GW just makes it official. Like you have to remember, like the Retributors, they made the Retributors a thing. So by that they made like all the like shenanigans that happened inside their thing. That is actually like breaking the fourth wall. I love that. I made something that is so good, even though it's not lore accurate. GW made it lore accurate. That's such a... I love Astartes. I wouldn't talk about using buzzwords when you called me a scumbag in the video. All I want in mind was morally bankrupt. I appreciate your answer. Truly, many people wouldn't have had the courage of answering. Yeah, that's entirely true. I think Arbiter Ian... I'm waiting for Arbiter Ian's video. I'm waiting for Bricky's reply. I'll be honest, but even here, you're once again misrepresenting even your own arguments, so trust me, I give you kudos for doing it, but I still hope my video pushes you to be a better content creator. And I think at the crux of it, I think that's the main point. Is that Pontius just wants people to be a better content creator. So I hope that's the case as well. Like I hope Majorkill makes more entertaining and more accurate content in the future, because I feel like entertainment and lore accuracy is not mutually exclusive. And he's such a big channel now that he does not need to ride the wave. He does not need to chase any headline. He can basically create any headline. He can basically like just make any kind of subject like this, like anything that's just 40k adjacent or like semi-relevant for 40k. And he'll still have tons of views. Like this one, like this is a drama video, and by the way, this is a drama video and it's got 101k views. This is not a drama video and still got relatively good views. He does not need to like chase any headlines. So I know the like, you know, be trying to be relevant, but at the same time, I think like he's big enough to chill out with that a little bit and just make better content. The first reply, dude, I'm not reading all that. Hey, get negative, you get positive, read it in Cantonese. Law, fu, lei, law, 一個整. I'm reading that in like the most literal sense possible. I don't know what that's trying to say. White guy's talking about Arsenal. Wait. Go back to real year and the evil. Wait, let me read the chat. Wow, chat really freaking moved. Now fam, you done. Get ready to get dunked is there. People watch the unwatchable. Hear that row fight the power. British guy saying the colonies. What they don't like is just watch the video. I mean, you can just give some appetizers first. Come back to reality, you're having an Evil Nero moment. Was that really an Evil Nero moment? I don't think it was, just me speaking honestly. He meets with content creators like that lady where he goes on dates and they're all content creators. I think that's just him trying to get laid. I'm a gamer should be a bottle. Yeah. I don't think there's any... There must be a few, right? Like there should be like more 40k content creators who are just gamers. I feel like a lot of the content creators need like an extra hobby, otherwise like just talking about Warhammer 40k in the context of 40k is just really boring. Pontius is right on that. Okay, GW made it official. It was not because it was good, they made it official, it works for them. He should just become Arsenal fans. No way, fuck. Screw this. expert detail debunking something. I ain't reading all of that. He's now a member of the debunkers. Evil narrow moment equals internet stroke. You have a weird pronunciation of gray man. I still don't get what that Cantonese comment is trying to say. I'm trying to find Majorkill's response, but I am not loading up. I am not loading up. I mean, I will. I guess I have to. Base Pontius. My man saw this and chose violence. Pontius brings the facts. That conversation comments. I'd rather have videos. I'd rather have reactable videos. Because this shit is fun. I don't care, like, my channel is like tiny as fuck. This is just a fun activity. This activity combines like mental illness with drama. And so it is a very fun activity. I cannot find his goddamn comment. Like, where the hell is his comment? Excuse me. Don't worry, you're still my favorite homosexual for the kid creator. Ladies and gentlemen, this is called clout chasing, stirring up controversy for no other reason to get views. It tends to not last since this guy like there's nothing new to add to his space and seems to lack charisma. He's saying that he is a bitch and he lacks aura. That is one hell of a thing to do. There's nothing more cringy than you should fight him. You know, I am really surprised there's like not one single like racial joke or anything here. I think we've really progressed as a society. Usually if this is 4chan and you know that the other person is Italian, you'll just be calling him like non-white as an insult. It's like, oh, you're Italian, then you're not white. Post hands, post nipples. I bet your nipples ain't even pink, you false white person. Maybe I find this comment if I have a comment searcher. Those get filtered, we learn nothing. But I'm only saying that because like in the poll, like in 4chan poll, you can actually see like the person who's posting like the little country flag. Almost said the homophobic F word by accident because I and so do not clip that. And so yeah, in poll you can get like the little country flags next to the like posters' names, so you can tell that they're from Italy. So when people post from Italy, people like to remind them that they're not actually white. It's really funny. Yeah, guess who's been browsing 4chan for many years? Majorkill. I was hoping for a longer reply, like all that work for just one drop of blood. Anyways, okay, it seems I Measure is stored from YouTube's block. I don't think it was ever removed, just it was pushed down to bottom, which I don't think is possible for me to do. If I had deleted it, then it would be impossible. This reply and this heart should bring it back on top. I'm happy to beef with and argue with people, but I've never been one to silence or remove comments. I even called out Gamza when he did the thing to me after I racialed him on his own video a few years ago. I mean, arguing with Gamza is actually pretty ballsy because Gamza flies like a honey badger as well. Pretty annoyed this happened as it makes me look like a bitch. Laughing face. Did he post more? I was expecting more. Okay, let's read some of the other comments. I want some more balanced text. So that's this comment. The law accurate at war with each other sounds law accurate. Pontius stated he wouldn't mind having a debate with Majorkill regarding 40k lore. A stereotypical Italian versus a stereotypical Australian battle shall be legendary. And there'll be zero English found because the accents will just be all over the place. I am too employed to care for this. Two grown men beefing over buff man in power armor. Angry Italian, you mean normal Italian. I am Italian, I tell you. Pontius' tone is mildly inconvenienced for Italian standards. And let's read this one before moving on to the other video, because we still have one more video. NZ Landing Part 2. I can't even pronounce that. We learned that. Natavoni Ravioli Spaghetti Luigi. He gained some cajones. Man, I forgot. Okay, so Majorkill said, so woke up today, see beef has cooked, and yeah, no real surprises. Pontius fans raging at me. My fans love you guys and gals raging at Pontius. Overall pretty entertaining at the very least. Pontius did leave a comment on this video while asleep, but for reason it was all removed by YouTube. Would be dumb as hell for me to delete it, and this ain't something I'm going to set a 4 AM alarm for. Okay. Pretty annoyed to say, alright. No point to going through his counter argument one by one with my own. I think it's best if he just makes a video about it. It'll be really funny. It'll be like a Keemstar video, right? But this isn't something they can take responsibility or admit when they're wrong. As a quick example, Pontius said the Arch made me famous. Call out video. I proceed to say Arch didn't make me famous, nor okay. I will continue to hold the stance that variety of lore tubers with variety of styles is not a bad thing. Pontius can be hyperfixated. Excuse me, can be a hyperfixated guy who comes over every single sentence of the lore. Adeptus Ridiculous can make lighthearted podcasts. That's not about 40k, please. Luton can make his in-depth videos that sprinkle in some speculation. Hammer can just be a freaking furry in his own. Nah, I'm just kidding. Can be lighthearted, jolly content. I know, but what happens if I just kick all of these people out and just become the only person who makes content? Wouldn't that be really convenient? Just kidding. You can't do that. The idea that only style should be allowed or respected as Pontius is the kind of attitude which will make Warhammer 40k the most unappealing, unapproachable, and insufferable hobby there is. I made this video as a response to some guy I've heard of raging at a bunch of VTubers? YouTubers who have brought countless people in the hobby and paved the way for channels like this to exist. Usually I would ignore it, not notice it, but with his video getting traction and containing lies or false speculation about me, I was going to defend myself and do not regret it, and I stand by everything I have in this video. I think that's the only responsible thing that you can actually do, is that when someone makes a video about you, you just make a video back. I think you're well within your rights to do that. And good on them for doing that. In fact, if anything like that happens, I respect them a lot less if they do not even make a reply about it. It was all deleted. Anime even have. Is there another comment? I miss little Tim. Yeah, where did Timmy go? By the way, can you hear like a bunch of birds outside making a shit ton of noise? Okay, let's look at the other video.